The California Arts Council acknowledges the original inhabitants of the lands now called California, and that California continues to be home to many indigenous communities. Generations of tribal communities develop deep understandings of the land and continue long-standing relationships with the land, water, air, plant, and animal beings through ceremony, culture, and stewardship. These communities are not only an important part of our history as contemporary Californians, but are also important voices in our understanding of this place. In acknowledging the violent history of the founding of the state of California, its support of state-sponsored genocide, the misrepresentation of indigenous peoples, their culture, and the erasure of their contributions to our shared history, we at the California Arts Council recognize our responsibility to these indigenous communities, and we are compelled to support tribes, tribal organizations, and related organizations, including arts organizations, in their efforts to uplift indigenous people and communities. With these ideals in mind, we recognize that today we are gathering on the homelands of the Maidu, Miwok, Patwin, and Wintun peoples of the Sacramento region, and we also acknowledge and honor the Wilton Rancheria, the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County. Thank you. Now, let's get on with the show. Please join me in welcoming the Poet Laureate of the state of California, Mr. Lee Herrick.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's good to see you all. I'm going to do a little bit of explanation about the mic once we get to that point for all of the champions, so you'll know how to adjust it when you get up here. But before I get into the formal introductory part of today's competition, I wanted to just tell you a little, can I tell you a little story? Just to get myself going a little bit of levity. To me, this is a funny story. But it has to do with one of the first times I ever spoke in front of a class or a group of people. I was terrified to the point, they're so far beyond, I'm not trying to, I hope this makes you feel more at ease. You're so far ahead of where I was at your age. But when I was in middle school, I was given an assignment by my favorite teacher at the time, Mrs. Hennings. And, you know, teachers, of course, come from all different backgrounds and experiences. We've had homeschooled students here in the competition. But Mrs. Hennings was my 8th grade teacher in Modesto, California, a town of great teachers. And she made us study for about 2 weeks and get up and recite all of the helping verbs by memory. Yeah, and when she said that, my little 8th grade brain went, what? Are you kidding? And I was stressed and almost sick to my stomach for about 2 weeks. And I finally got up there and I did it, terrified. I thought I was shaking. I was fine. The things we think are going to really devastate us rarely ever do, you know. But I still remember Mrs. Hennings to this day. I'm 53 now, and I still remember that day and the opportunity that I had. I was walking home yesterday after the competition, and I saw one of the champions, and he was telling me, you know, just what an opportunity and what it felt like to be here. And I hope some of you feel that when you return to your counties and your hometowns. I hope you feel full and more expansive after this weekend. Yeah, I was so nervous. May I recite them for you in honor of Mrs. Hennings? May I? All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is for Mrs. Hennings and all of the teachers. So these are the helping verbs. Were, be, being, been, has, have, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. Thank you very much. Woo. Thank you. But these folks are far beyond what I'm doing. I'm so proud of you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday, I gave a detailed overview of the process, but I want to just reiterate a few points. Today, of course, we'll begin with round 2. All county champions will recite their second poem. As was the case with round 1, champions will recite in a randomized order. Our panel of 3 judges will assign a numerical score to each performance in 4 categories: physical presence, voice and articulation, interpretation, and evidence of understanding. The judge will then assign a final score for overall performance. An accuracy judge will score the performance against a copy of the poem from the Poetry Out Loud anthology. Judges' scores are final. Once the judge hands in their score sheets, it cannot be changed or reviewed. Scoring and score tabulation are confidential. We do not disclose individual or total scores during or after the competition. Our judges have been instructed to score fairly and consistently across all of the performances they will watch today. To help preserve our judges' impartiality, please do not speak with the judges during the competition, on breaks, or at any other time. So please give another round of applause to our 3 judges, Nairi Boyajian, Anthony Robles, and Allison Davis, as well as Allison App Roberts and Josie Miller. So Josie, did you want to give a refresher on some of the prompting?
Absolutely. Thanks, Lisa. I'm going to stand and wave at you all, champs, just so you can see where I'm going to be. Actually, I don't need to come down. So you all did amazing yesterday. Perfect. Wonderful. You didn't need me at all. Fully expect that to be wash, rinse, repeat for today. But should you need me, I'm right here. So if you go up, you take a breath, and you still don't have your next line, you're going to turn this way, and what are you going to say? Line. Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay? Break legs.
All right, thank you, Josie. So some last housekeeping things. Okay, first about the mic, everybody. There's a stand, which you might, I don't know if you'll need to put your foot on it. This one's not as heavy on the top, but this is flexible, right? At the top and at the bottom, so it should be good for you all, okay? But if you need to have me help adjust, I'm happy to do that. I'll be sitting right here. Please, everyone, silence all cell phones. And like yesterday, please feel free to take photographs or video, but please no flash photography. We'll take another break about halfway through, and as yesterday, I'm going to try to speed through them and not ad-lib between each champion. Okay? And lastly, if you need to step out for any reason, again, please try to do so between the performances and not during a poem. Okay? So are we ready? Okay, let's go ahead and welcome round 2, our first champion, Frey Barty from Mendocino County.
The Calm by Sean O'Brien. At the mouth of the river, moon, stars, an arctic calm. The twin lights at the end of the piers revolving with the smoothness we expect of supernatural machinery. Seen from down here on the beach, the harbored ocean slowly tilts, like a mirror discreetly manhandled by night from the giant room it was supposed to occupy forever. The mind says now, but the stars on their angelic gimbals roll and fade, a tide of constellations breaking nowhere every night. About this time, strike up the band. In the Tumbledown Bar, the singer has fallen from stardom and grace. But though her interests nowadays are wholly secular, she can still refer back to the angels. And knowing that song, we share a moment with the saved before we leave to make the crossing. No captain, no ferry, but cross we shall. Believe you me.
Okay, our next champion is Parker Whitemeyer from Stanislaus County.
All Hallows Eve by Dorothea Tanning. Be perfect. Make it. Otherwise, yesterday is torn in shreds. Lightning's 1,000 sulfur eyes rip apart the breathing beds. Here bones crack and pulverized doom creeps in on rubber treads. Countless overwrought housewives' minds unraveling like threads. Try lipstick shades to tranquilize fears of age and general dreads. Sit tight. Be perfect. Swat the spies. Don't take faucets for fountainheads. Drink tasty antidotes. Otherwise, you and the werewolf, newlyweds. Thank you.
Okay, our next champion is Anixia Davila from Monterey County.
Hello. The second poem I will be reciting is Suppose by Phoebe Carey. Suppose, my little lady, your doll should break her head. Could you make it whole by crying till your eyes and nose are red? And wouldn't it be pleasanter to treat it as a joke and say you're glad 'twas Dolly's and not your head that broke? Suppose you're dressed for walking and the rain comes pouring down. Will it clear off any sooner because you scold and frown? And wouldn't it be nicer for you to smile than pout, and so make sunshine in the house when there is none without? Suppose your task, my little man, is very hard to get. Will it make it any easier for you to sit and fret? And wouldn't it be wiser than waiting like a dunce to go to work in earnest and learn the thing at once? Suppose that some boys have a horse and some a coach and pair. Will it tire you less while walking to say, it isn't fair? And wouldn't it be nobler to keep your temper sweet and in your heart be thankful you can walk upon your feet? And suppose the world don't please you, nor the way some people do. Do you think the whole creation will be altered just for you? And isn't it, my boy or girl, the wisest, bravest plan, whatever comes or doesn't come, to do the best you can? Thank you.
All right, our next champion is Gabrielle Garlick from El Dorado County.
Advice from La Llorona by Deborah A. Miranda, a found poem. Each grief has its unique side. Choose the one that appeals to you. Go gently. Your body needs energy to repair the amputation. Humor phantom pain. Your brain cells are soaked with salt. Connections fail unexpectedly and often. Ask for help. Accept help. Read your grief like the daily newspaper. Headlines may have information you need. Scream. Dropkick the garbage can across the street. Don't feel guilty if you have a good time. Don't act as if you haven't been hit by a Mack truck. Do things a little differently. But don't make a lot of changes. Revel in contradiction. Talk to the person who died. Give her a piece of your mind. Try to touch someone at least once a day. Approach grief with determination. Pretend the finish line doesn't keep receding. Lean into the pain. You can't outrun it.
All right, the next champion is Riley O'Hara from Sonoma County.
Okay. Sonnet 29. When in Disgrace with Fortune in Men's Eyes by William Shakespeare. When in disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, I, all alone, beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising. Haply, I think on thee. And then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
Okay, the next champion is Anna Matthews from Santa Barbara County. All right, our next champion is Lily Lang from Ventura County.
A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath had end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow, and I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles, and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew, both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree.
Okay, the next champion is Asher Perla from Yuba County.
To Live with a Landscape by Constance Erdang. 1. Take your boulevards, your Locust Street, your Chestnut, Pine, your Olive. Take your Walker Park and Forest Garden, your avenues that lead past street corner violence, past your West End, past your limit, to shabby suburban crime. Vandalism in the parking lot, abductions from the shopping mall, like making the same mistake over and over on the piano or typewriter keys, always hitting the wrong note. How very alive they are, very American, how chock full of metaphysics, hell-bent to obliterate the wilderness. 2. Learn to live with sycamores, their sad, peeling trunks scabbed all over with shabby patches, their enormous leaves in dingy shades of ochre and dun rattling like castanets, their roots thick as a man's leg, crawling like enormous worms out of the broken pavements, continually thrusting themselves up from pools of shade they make, sculpturing the street with dappled dark and light as glaucoma, a disease of the eye, makes the world more beautiful with its mysterious rainbows. 3. Already in Iowa, the monarchs are emerging, signaling with their tawny wings in regalia of burnt orange and umber. The spangled imperial procession meanders along the democratic roadsides, across straight state lines, over rivers and artificial lakes, and the loneliness of middle America on the way to Mexico. The tiny wind of their passing is not even recorded as a disturbance in the atmosphere. 4. Driving back into the American past, homesick for forests, flowers without names, vast savannas, lowlands or mountains teeming with game, bluffs crowned with cottonwoods, mudbanks where crocodiles might sun themselves. Finding instead the remains of strange picnics, replications of old selves, a cacophony of changes, like a room crowded with chairs in which no one can sit, as if history were furniture grown splintered and shabby. Studying a picturesque rustic architecture to master its splendid abstractions, shady verandas and porches, or the Republican simplicity of a cow.
Okay, our next champion is Iana Diaz from San Joaquin County. Tomaso Loyodice from Tehama County. All right, the next champion is Mark Glenn from Inyo County.
The Arrow and the Song by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth, I knew not where. For so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. I breathed the song into the air. Fell to earth, I knew not where. For who has sight so keen and strong that it can follow the flight of song? Long, long afterwards, in an oak, I found the arrow, still unbroke. And the song from beginning to end, I found again in the heart of a friend.
All right, the next champion is Amaris Rothfleisch from Imperial County.
The Ocean by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The ocean has its silent caves, deep, quiet, and alone. Though there be fury on the waves, beneath them there is none. The awful spirits of the deep hold their communion there, and there are those for whom we weep, the young, the bright, the fair. Calmly the wearied seamen rest beneath their own blue sea. The ocean solitudes are blessed for their purity. The earth has guilt, the earth has care. Unquiet are its graves. But peaceful sleep is ever there beneath the dark blue waves.
All right, the next champion is Valentina Russell from Santa Cruz County.
This is Ode on Solitude by Alexander Pope. Happy the man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound, content to breathe his native air in his own ground, whose herds with milk, whose fields with bread, whose flock supply him with attire, whose trees in summer yield him shade, in winter fire. Blessed, who can unconcernedly find hours, days, and years slide soft away in health of body, peace of mind, quiet by day, sound sleep by night. Study and ease, together mixed, sweet recreation and innocence, which most does please with meditation. Thus, let me live, unseen, unknown, thus unlamented. Let me die, steal from the world, and not a stone tell where I lie.
The next champion is Ariana Salvador from Contra Costa County.
Being by Tanea Winder. Wake up, greet the sun, and pray. Burn cedar, sweet grass, sage, sacred herbs to honor the lives we've been given. For we have been gifted these ways since the beginning of time. Remember, when you step into the arena of your life, think about those who stand beside you, next to, and with you. Your ancestors are always in your corner, along with your people. Never forget, you were put on this earth for a reason.
when we enter this world, we are born hungry. Our spirits long for us to live out our traditions that have been passed down for generations. Prayer, ceremony, dance, language, our ways of being. Never forget you were put on this earth for a reason. Honor your ancestors. Be a good relative.
Okay, our next champion is Darlin Diaz Velasquez from Alameda County.
The Coming Woman by Mary Weston Fordham. Just look, 'tis 6:15, love, and not even the fires are caught. Well, you know I must be at the office, but as usual, the breakfast will be late. Now hurry and wake up the children and dress them as fast as you can. Poor dearies, I know they'll be tardy. Dear me, what a slow poking man. Have the tenderloin boiled nice and juicy. Have the toast brown and buttered, all right? And be sure you settle the coffee. Be sure that the silver is bright. When ready, just run up and call me. At 8 to the office I go. Lest poverty and grim should overtake us, this bread and butter, you know. The bottom from stocks may fall out. My bonds may get below par. Then surely I seldom could spare you a nickel to buy a cigar. All ready? Now, while I am eating, just bring up my wheel to the door. Then wash up the dishes. And mind now, have dinner promptly at 4. For tonight is our women's convention, and I am to speak first. You know, the men veto us in private, but in public they shout. That's so. So bye-bye. In case of a rap, love, before opening the door, you must look. Oh, how could a civilized woman exist without a man cook?
Okay, the next champion is Sarah Johnson from Madera County.
We Wear the Mask by Paul Laurence Dunbar. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts, we smile and mouth with mirrored subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and along the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask.
Okay, the next champion is Mercedes Tao from Trinity County.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutched of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
The next champion is Star Schwartz from Merced County. The next champion is Madeline Chu from Napa County. Okay, the next champion is Claire Nadoris from Fresno County.
The Bookshelf of the God of Infinite Space by Jeffrey Skinner. You would expect an uncountable number, acres and acres of books in rows like wheat or gold bullion, or that the words just appear in the mind like banner headlines. In fact, there is one shelf holding a modest number, 10 or 12 volumes. No dust jackets because no dust. Covers made of gold or skin or golden skin or creosote or rain-soaked macadam or some mix of salt and glass. You turn a page and mountains rise. Clouds drawn by children bubble in the sky. You are 20 again, trying to read a map dissolving in your hands. I say you and mean me. Say God and mean librarian, who, after long research, offers you a glass of water and an apple. You, grateful to discover your name, a footnote in that book.
Okay, our next champion is Natalie Harris from Tuolumne County.
Thoughtless Cruelty by Charles Lamb. There, Robert. You have killed that fly. And should you 1,000 ages try the life you've taken to supply, you could not do it. You surely must have been devoid of thought and sense, to have destroyed a thing which no way you annoyed. You'll one day rue it. 'Twas but a fly, perhaps you'll say, that's born in April, dies in May, that does but just learn to display his wings 1 minute, and in the next is vanished quite. A bird devours it in his flight, or come a cold blast in the night, there's no breath in it. The bird but seeks his proper food. And Providence, whose power endued that fly with life, when it thinks good, may justly take it. But you have no excuses for it. A life by nature made so short, less reason is that you, for sport, should shorter make it. A fly, a little thing, you rate. But Robert, do not estimate a creature's pain by small or great. The greatest being can have but fibers, nerves, and flesh. And these the smallest ones possess, although their frame and structure less escape our seeing.
All right, our next champion is Karina Hurd from Humboldt County.
Hello. Today, I will be reciting Backdrop Addresses Cowboy
by Margaret Atwood. Star-spangled cowboy, sauntering out of the almost silly west. On your face, a porcelain grin, tugging a papier-mâché cactus on wheels behind you with a string. You are innocent as a bathtub full of bullets. Your righteous eyes, your laconic trigger fingers people the streets with villains. As you move, the air in front of you blossoms with targets. And you leave behind you a heroic trail of desolation. Beer bottles, slaughtered by the side of the road. Bird skulls bleaching in the sunset. I ought to be watching from behind a cliff or a cardboard storefront when the shooting starts. Hands clasped in admiration. But I am elsewhere. Then what about me? What about the eye confronting you on that border you were always trying to cross? I am the horizon you ride towards, the thing you can never lasso. I am also what surrounds you, my brain, scattered with your tin cans, bones, empty shells, the litter of your invasions. I am the space you desecrate as you pass through. Thank you.
All right, our next champion is Brigitte Whittle Marie from Marin County.
Shall Earth No More Inspire Thee by Emily Bronte. Shall earth no more inspire thee, thou lonely dreamer now, since passion may not fire thee, shall nature cease to bow? Thy mind is ever moving in regions dark to thee. Recall its useless roving. Come back and dwell with me. I know my mountain breezes enchant and soothe thee still. I know my sunshine pleases, despite thy wayward will. When day, with evening blending, sinks from the summer sky, I've seen thy spirit bending in fond idolatry. I've watched thee every hour. I know my mighty sway. I know my magic power to drive thy griefs away. Few hearts to mortals given on earth so wildly pine, yet none would ask a heaven more like this earth than thine. So let my wings caress thee, thy comrade let me be.
since naught beside can bless thee. Return and dwell with me. Thank you.
All right, the next champion is Selah Johnson from Los Angeles County.
Black Matters by Keith S. Wilson after D. H. Lawrence. Shall I tell you then that we exist? There came a light, blue and white careening, the police like wailing angels to bitter me. And so this. Dark matter is hypothetical. Know that it cannot be seen in the gunpowder of a flower, in a worm that raisins on the concrete, in a man that wills himself not to speak. Gags. Oh, gags. For a shadow cannot breathe. It deprives them of nothing. Pride is born in the black and then dies in it. I hear our shadow. Low treble of the clasping of our hands. Dark matter is invisible. We infer it. How light bends around a black body, and still you do not see black halos even here. My having told you plainly where they are. Thank you.
All right, the next champion is Sophie McMahon from Mono County.
Self-Portrait with Sylvia Plath's Braid by Diane Seuss. Some women make it a pilgrimage to visit it, and the Indiana Library charged to keep it safe. I didn't drive to it. I dreamed it. The thick braid roped over my hands, heavier than lead. My own hair was long for years, and then I became obsessed with chopping it off. And I did, clear up to my ears. If hair is beauty, then I am no longer beautiful. Sylvia was beautiful, wasn't she? And like all of us, didn't she wield her beauty like a weapon? And then she married and laid it down. And when she was betrayed and took it up again, it was a word weapon, a poem sword. In the dream, I fasten her braid to my own hair at my nape. I walk outside with it through the world of men, swinging it behind me like a tail.
All right, the next champion is Sarah Yee from Placer County.
Backdrop Addresses Cowboy by Margaret Atwood. Star-spangled cowboy, sauntering out of the almost silly west, on your face a porcelain grin, tugging a paper mache cactus on wheels behind you with a string. You are innocent as a bathtub full of bullets. Your righteous eyes, your laconic trigger fingers, people the streets with villains. As you move, the air in front of you blossoms with targets. And you leave behind you a heroic trail of desolation. Beer bottles slaughtered by the side of the road, bird skulls bleaching in the sunset. I ought to be watching from behind a cliff or a cardboard storefront when the shooting starts, hands clasped in admiration. But I am elsewhere. Then, what about me? What about the I confronting you on that border you are always trying to cross? I am the horizon you ride towards, the thing you can never lasso. I am also what surrounds you. My brain scattered with your tin cans, bones, empty shells, the litter of your invasions. I am the space you desecrate as you pass through.
All right, can we have a big hand for all of the amazing champions who've read so far? Great job, great job, great job. Great job, everyone. We are going to take 5 minutes. If you need to know, the restrooms are down the hall to the left, just by the security check-in booth. Please be back in 5 minutes. Charlie will call us all back and resume, okay? Thank you very much. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're going to continue with round 2. Our next champion is Mirabelle Lee from Riverside County.
To the Ladies by Lady Mary Chudley. Wife and servant are the same, but only differ in the name. For when that fatal knot is tied, which nothing can divide, when she the word obey has said, and man by law supreme has made, and all that's kind is laid aside, and nothing left but state and pride. Fierce as an eastern prince he grows, and all his innate rigor shows, and then but to look, to laugh, or speak, will the nuptial contract break. Like mutes, she signs alone must make, and never any freedom take, but still be governed by a nod, and fear her husband as a god. Him still must serve, him still obey, and nothing act and nothing say but what her haughty lord thinks fit, who with the power has all the wit. Then shun, oh shun, that wretched state, and all the fawning flatterers hate. Value yourselves, and men despise. You must be proud if you'll be wise.
Okay, our next champion is Lily Merida from Lake County.
Listening in Deep Space by Diane Thiel. We've always been out looking for answers, telling stories about ourselves, searching for connection, choosing to send out Stravinsky and whale song, which, in translation, might very well be our undoing instead of a welcome. We launch satellites, probes, telescopes, unfolding like origami, navigating geomagnetic storms, major disruptions, rovers with spirit and perseverance, mapping the unknown. We listen through large arrays, adjusted eagerly to hear the news that we are not alone. Considering the history at home, in houses across continents, oceans, even in quests armed with good intentions, what one seeker has done to another. What will we do when we find each other?
All right, our next champion is Zion Dammons from Plumas County.
This is A Life and a Love by Robert Browning. Escape me, never, beloved, while I am I and you are you, so long as the world contains us both, me the loving and you the loaf. While the one eludes, must the other pursue. My life is at a fault, at last I fear. It seems too much like a fate indeed, Though I do my best, I shall scarce succeed. But what if I fail of my purpose here? It is but to keep the nerves that strain, to dry one's eyes and laugh at a fall, and baffled, get up and begin again. So the chase takes up one's life, that's all. While look but once from your farthest bound at me so deep in the dusk and dark, no sooner the old hope goes to ground than a new one straight to the self same mark. I shape me, ever removed. Thank you.
All right, our next champion is Gabriela Garcia from Yolo County. All right, our next champion is Aiden Fielder Jelzy from Sutter County.
Semblance Screens by Liz Waldner. A moth. Oh, hold on, let me adjust that. A moth lies open and lies like an old bleached beech leaf. A lean-to between window frame and sill. Its death protects a collection of tinier deaths and other dirts beneath. Although the white paint is water-stained, on it, death is dirt and hapless. This just severed tiger lily is drinking its glass of water, I hope. This hope is this hope is severe. What you ruin, ruins you too. So you hope for favor. I mean, I do.
The underside of a ladybug.
The underside of a ladybug wanders the window. I wander the colonnet, my undercarriage not as evident, so go more perilously, it seems to me. But I am only me. To you it seems clear, I mean, to disappear and mean and project on you some ancient fear. If I were a bug, I hope I wouldn't be this giant wing thing, spiny like a crane fly, skinny-legged like me, kissing the cold ceiling, fumbling for the face of the others, seeking. It came in with me last night when I turned on the light. I lay awake, afraid it would touch my face. It wants out. I want out too. I thought you a way through. Arms wide for wings, your suffering mind, twinned screen. Your unbelief drives me in. Doubt for dirt, white sheet for sill. You don't stay other enough or still enough to be likened to.
All right, our next champion is Chloe Chow from San Mateo County.
Israfel by Edgar Allan Poe. And the angel Israfel, whose heartstrings are a lute, and who has the sweetest voice of all God's creatures. Koran. In heaven a spirit doth dwell, whose heartstrings are a lute. None sings so wildly well as the angel Israfel. And the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns, attend the spell of his voice, all mute. Tottering above in her highest noon, the enamored moon blushes with love, while, to listen, the red levin, with the rapid Pleiads even, which were 7, pauses in heaven. And they say, the starry choir and the other listening things, that Israfeli's fire is owing to that lyre by which he sits and sings, the trembling living wire of those unusual strings. But the skies that angel trod, where deep thoughts are a duty, where love's a grown-up God, where the hoary glances are imbued with all the beauty which we worship in a star. Therefore, thou art not wrong, Israfeli, who despises an unimpassioned song. To thee the laurels belong. Best bard, because the wisest, merrily live and long. The ecstasies above with thy burning measure suit, thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love, with the fervor of thy lute. Well may the stars be mute. Yes, heaven is thine, but this is a world of sweets and sours. Our flowers are merely flowers. And the shadow of thy perfect bliss is the sunshine of ours. If I could dwell where Israfel hath dwelt, and he where he might not sing so wildly well a mortal melody, while a bolder note than this might swell from my lyre within the sky.
All right, our next champion is Annika Miltner from San Luis Obispo County.
The Larger by Joni Mikowski. I don't know how it happened, but I fell. And I was immense, one dislocated arm wedged between 2 buildings. I felt some ribs had broken, perhaps a broken neck, too. I couldn't speak. My dress caught, bunched about my thighs, and where my glasses shattered, there'd spread something like a seacoast. Or maybe it was a port. Where my hair tangled with power lines, I felt a hot puddle of blood. I must have passed out, but when I woke, a crew of about 50 was building a winding stairway beside my breast and buttressing a platform on my sternum. I heard, as through cotton, the noise of hammers, circular saws, laughter, and some radio droning songs about love. Out the corner of one eye, I could open one eye a bit. I saw my pocketbook, its contents scattered, my lipstick's toppled silo glinting out of reach. And then, waving a tiny flashlight, a man entered my ear. I felt his boots sloshing the blood trickling there. He never came out. So some went looking, with flares, dogs, dynamite even. They burst my middle ear and found my skull, its cavern crammed with dark matter like a cross between a fungus and a cloud. They never found his body, though. And they never found, or tried to find, an explanation. I think, for me, they didn't seem to need one. Even now my legs subdue that dangerous sea, the water bright enough to cut the skin, where a lighthouse perched on the tip of my great toe, each 8 seconds rolls another flawless pearl across the waves. It keeps most ships from wrecking against my feet. On clear days, people stand beside the light. They watch the waves' blue heads slip up and down and scan for landmarks on the facing shore.
All right, our next champion is Alondra Gutierrez from Tulare County.
I Remember by Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. I remember the roses, red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. I remember where I was used to swing, and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then. That is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fir trees, dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now 'tis little joy to know I am farther off from heaven than when I was a boy.
All right, the next champion is Marco Valdez from Colusa County.
Dirge Without Music by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I am not resigned to the shutting away of loving hearts in the hard ground. So it is, and so it will be, for so it has been, time out of mind. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go, but I am not resigned. Lovers and thinkers, into the earth with you, be one with the dull, the indiscriminate dusk, a fragment of what you felt, of what you knew. A formula, a phrase remains, but the best is lost. The answers, quick and keen, the honest look, the laughter, the love, they are gone. They are gone to feed the roses. Elegant and curled is the blossom, fragrant is the blossom. I know, but I do not approve. More precious was the light in your eye than all the roses in the world. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave. Gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. I know, but I do not approve, and I am not resigned.
All right, our next champion is Alex Hong from San Francisco County.
Nothing to Do by James Ephraim McGirt. The fields are white, the laborers are few, yet say the idle, there's nothing to do. Jails are crowded, and Sunday schools few. We still complain, there's nothing to do. Drunkards are dying, your sons, it is true. Mothers, arms folded, with nothing to do. Heathens are dying, their blood falls on you. How can you people find nothing to do?
All right, the next champion is Danielle Maddox Turk from Mariposa County.
A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see, my foe outstretched beneath the tree.
Okay, the next champion is Jesse Lay from Santa Clara County.
The Caller by George Herbert. I struck the board and cried, "No more, I will abroad." What? Shall I ever sigh and pine? My lines and life are free, free as the road, loose as the wind, as large as store. Shall I be still in suit?
have I no harvest but a thorn to let me blood, and not restore what I have lost with cordial fruit? Sure there was wine before my sighs did dry it. There was corn before my tears did drown it. Is the year only lost to me? Have I no bays to crown it? No flowers, no garlands gay? All blasted? All wasted? Not so, my heart. But there is fruit, and thou hast hands. Recover all thy sigh-blown age on double pleasures. Leave thy cold dispute of what is fit and not. Forsake thy cage, thy rope of sands which petty thoughts have made, and made thee good cable to enforce and draw and be thy law, while thou didst wink and wouldst not see. Away, take heed, I will abroad. Call in thy death's head there. Tie up thy fears. He that forbears to suit and serve his need deserves his load. But as I raved and grew more fierce and wild at every word, methought I heard one calling, "Child." And I replied, "My Lord."
Okay, our next champion is Elizabeth Lopez Rangel from Modoc County.
Our Love on the Other Side of This Border by Anais del Marquez. Maybe I would have seen you trip over the steps in the patio in between classes, or we would have met on the soccer field, covered in mud, and you would have asked my name. That crooked smile spreading from your eyes to your mouth. Maybe I would have laughed. Maybe we would have had a nieve in the plaza, and you would have asked, and you would have held my hand after folklorico or at a fandango where I was learning to dance faster than my adrenaline. Maybe you would have given me a bouquet of mango con chile limon or elote con queso, and we'd count all the ways cuetes go off in this pueblo, and would walk the feria at night, wrapped up in blankets, drinking atole. Maybe we would have fought over the meaning of God. Maybe that dazón after drinking the Doritos would have made me cry. Or maybe you'd have cut me off with a joke. But maybe this land would have been large enough for our hearts to grow. The sun would feel different on our skin. And the mercados with the viejitas would give a calmer pace to our lives. Maybe our cuts would be different here, with enough medicina to move through salt water. Maybe our roots would allow our bones to be enough. Thank you.
All right, our next champion is Anushka Majumdar from San Diego County. Okay, our next champion is Yamani Duncan from Butte County.
Sonnet 55, Not Marble Nor the Gilded Monuments, by William Shakespeare. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone, smeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. 'Gainst death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out
to the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Okay, our next champion is Madison Noel from Amador County.
Brother, I've Seen Some by Kabir, translated by Arvind Krishna Mehrotra. Brother, I've seen some astonishing sights. A lion keeping watch over pasturing cows. A mother delivered after her son was. A guru prostrated before his disciple. Fish spawning on treetops. A cat carrying away a dog. A gunny sack driving a bullock cart. A buffalo going out to graze, sitting on a horse. A tree with its branches in the earth, its roots in the sky. A tree with flowering roots. This verse, says Kabir, is your key to the universe if you can figure it out.
All right, our next champion is Dino Moon Parks from Nevada County.
This is After Working 60 Hours Again for What Reason by Bob Hickok. The best job I had was moving a stone from one side of the road to the other. This required a permit, which required a bribe. The bribe took on my salary. Yet, because I hadn't finished the job, I had no salary. And to pay the bribe, I took a job moving the stone the other way. Because the official wanted his bribe, he gave me a permit for the second job. When I pointed out that the work would be best completed if I did nothing, he complimented my brain and wrote a letter to my employer suggesting promotion on stationery bearing the wings of a raptor spread in flight over a mountain smaller than the bird. My boss, fearing my intelligence, paid me to sleep on the sofa and take lunch with the official, who required a bribe to keep anything from being done. When I told my parents, they wrote to my brother to come home from university to be slapped on the back of the head. Dutifully, he arrived and bowed to receive his instruction, at which point sense entered his body and he asked what I could do by way of a job. I pointed out that there were stones everywhere, trying not to move. All it took was a little gumption to be the man who didn't move them. It was harder to explain the intricacies of not obtaining a permit to not do this. Just yesterday, he got up at dawn and shaved, as if the lack of hair on his face has anything to do with the appearance of food on an empty table.
All right, our next champion is Rebecca Hungerford from Calaveras County.
Miss you.
would like to grab that chilled tofu we love. By Gabrielle Calvacresi. Do not care if you bring only your light body. Would just be so happy to sit at the table and talk about the menu. Miss you. Wish we could bet which chilies they'd put in the cubes of tofu. Our favorite. Sometimes green, sometimes red. Roasted, we always thought. But so cold and fresh. How did they do it? Wish you could be here to talk about it like it was so important. Wish you could. Watched you on the screens as I was walking, as I was cooking. Wished you could get out of the hospital. Can't bring myself to order our dish and eat it in the car. Miss you laughing. Miss you coming in from the cold or one too many meetings. Laughing. I'll order already. I'll order 7 helpings, some dumplings, those cold yam noodles that you like. You can come in your light body or skeleton or be invisible. I don't even care. No, you have a long way to travel. No, I don't even know if it's long at all. Wish you could tell me what you're reading. If you're reading. Miss you. I'm at the table in the back.
Okay, the next champion is Olivia Lay from Orange County. All right, our next champion is Madeline Emily Van Vactor from Del Norte County.
Advice from La Llorona, a found poem by Deborah A. Miranda. Each grief has its unique side. Choose the one that appeals to you. Go gently. Your body needs energy to repair the amputation. Humor phantom pain. Your brain cells are soaked with salt. Connections fail unexpectedly and often. Ask for help. Accept help. Read your grief like the daily newspaper. Headlines may have information you need. Scream. Drop kick the garbage can across the street. Don't feel guilty if you have a good time. Don't act as if you haven't been hit by a Mack truck. Do things a little differently, but don't make a lot of changes. Revel in contradiction. Talk to the person who died. Give her a piece of your mind. Try to touch someone at least once a day. Approach grief with determination. Pretend the finish line doesn't keep receding. Lean into the pain. You can't outrun it.
All right, the next champion is Maximilian Goodley from San Bernardino County.
Battle Hymn of the Republic by Julia Ward Howe. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fatal lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. I have read a fiery gospel writ in burnished rows of steel. As ye deal with my contemners, so with you my grace shall deal. Let the hero, born of woman, crush the serpent with his heel. Since God is marching on, he has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free, while God is marching on.
Our next champion is Isaac Andaluz from Sierra County.
The Light of Stars by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The night is come, but not too soon, and sinking silently, all silently, the little moon drops down behind the sky. There is no light in earth or heaven, but the cold light of stars. And the first watch of night is given to the red planet Mars. Is it the tender star of love, the star of love and dreams? Oh no, from that blue tent above, a hero's armor gleams. And earnest thoughts within me rise when I behold afar, suspended in the evening skies, the shield of that red star. O star of strength, I see thee stand and smile upon my pain. Thou beckonest with thy mailed hand, and I am strong again. That within my breast there is no light, but the cold light of stars. I give the first watch of the night to the red planet Mars. The star of the unconquered will, he rises in my breast, serene and resolute and still and calm and self-possessed. And thou too, whosoe'er thou art, that readest this brief psalm, as one by one thy hopes depart, be resolute and calm. O fear not in a world like this, for thou shalt know ere long, know how sublime a thing it is to suffer and be strong.
All right, our next champion is Ailey Grace Ruthven from Sacramento County.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next champion is Megan Current from San Benito County.
Dust by Dorian Lau. Someone spoke to me last night, told me the truth. Just a few words, but I recognized it. I knew I should make myself get up, write it down, but it was late. I was exhausted from working all day in the garden, moving rocks. Now I remember only the flavor. Not like food, sweet or sharp. More like a fine powder. Like dust. And I wasn't elated or frightened, but simply rapt, aware. That's how it is sometimes. God comes to your window, all bright light and black wings, and you're just too tired to open it. Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for all of the amazing, amazing champions? Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So before I give some formal comments about the process from here on out, as some calculations are being done, I want to just say how, again, deeply inspired and moved I was today. You know, yesterday I made a comment about how I see California's beauty in so many different places. The beaches, the mountains, the farm workers, and of course all of your voices. But I tell you, today you brought it even more. I think you represented yourselves, your families and friends, and your counties exceptionally well. I hope you're proud of yourselves. I'm so proud of each of you. As they continue on, I want to just say that, you know, we've recognized Danielle and Charlie, and of course Charlie O'Malley really organized this so beautifully, but the California Arts Council not only does Poetry Out Loud, which is a massive undertaking, but they're the state agency for California, the state arts agency, and they make our lives better in every way. And I want to just mention, if they're in the room, and please forgive me if I forget anyone, but I see Ayana Kiburi back there, and if you want to hold your, yeah, we can give applause now. Kristen Margolis, if she's in the room, she's outside. Amy Garrett, hi, Amy. Josie Miller, is Josie in here? Yes, Josie Miller. Megan Martin, she might be outside. Carlos, I see you there. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Elisa is back here. Yes. Kim is back here. Hi, Kim. Jonathan Estrada is around here somewhere. Kristen Margolis is back in the room. Hi, Kristen. Kiana, is she around? Yeah. And is there anyone I'm forgetting who's here today? But yeah, for the sound levels, yes, Zach, thank you so much. Which is not easy, you know. Jonathan, I said Jonathan, yes, I got Jonathan, but I didn't see you. There's Jonathan. Good job on the sounds, too. Also, I want to thank, if they are back in the room, Danielle is here, Executive Director. Yes, thank you, Danielle. And from the Governor's Office, I saw a couple of I saw a couple of other people. Kate Cohey is here, and also Montana Ruderman is here from Governor Newsom's office. So thank you. And yeah. And thank you again so much to the California State Assembly. I have been happy and honored to be your MC, and I think we might be getting close to 5 minutes. Have I told you about Mrs. Hennings, my 8th grade teacher? Okay, well, here's something, and I wanted to say also, so I can squeeze this in. You know, competition, right? I'm an etymology geek. I love etymology and root word origins. And, you know, compete, calm means together, community, compete. But I think sometimes we think only in terms of winners and losers, which is such a binary, right? And we know the troublesome nature of oppositions. But I wanted to just say, out of 18,000 students from California who competed in Poetry Out Loud, these were the 51 finalists. So, yes. And you can cue me anytime, Tyler. Whenever you might be driving home or flying home and you're thinking to yourself, you know, because there's only going to be 1, 2, 3, you know, the first 3 places. I don't want to say everyone's a winner, but you know what I mean. And what I'm trying to say is I hope you can ride this high, this energy, this development of your spirit and sort of this expansive idea of who you can be. All of you have done exceptionally well. I'm so proud of you. I wonder if, yes, could we welcome Kristen Margolis?
Hi, you all. Thank you so much, Lee. So I have the pleasure of introducing Assemblyman Mike Gibson, who is here today. It's quite an honor for us because he is one of the most prominent supporters of the arts throughout our state. He has fought tirelessly for decades for our programs, which allows us to bring all of you here. And so he also is the chair of the Arts, Entertainment, Sports, Tourism, Internet Media Committee. And so it's our great honor. He's going to welcome you all. Please join us.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited, one, that you are here in your house. This is the people's house. And I want to welcome you to each and every one of you for coming home, because this is your home. As Californians, as taxpayers, this is your place. And so I hope that you felt comfortable and welcome to being here. We are delighted that each and every one of you here representing your amazing counties. But when I walked into the room, I felt so excited to see all of these amazing young artists coming up. And I know the gentleman says that everyone can't win, but let me simply say each and every one of you are already winners in my eyes. And so to your sponsors, I want to continue to say, continue to pour into these young people. Continue to pour and give your time, your energy, because I believe it's going to pay off. And I believe that you represent the best and the brightest of California has to offer. You are amazing beyond measure. Let me say that again in case you missed it. You are amazing beyond measure. Each and every one of you. And I just want to celebrate all of you for just being amazing, but also being up here and competing. And we have session today at 1 o'clock, and we'll be elevating your presence here among my colleagues. A lot of my colleagues have already recognized many of the people who represents their particular district and took them outside because we didn't want to interrupt the flow of things, and had pictures and things of that nature. And again, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the speaker, Robert Rivas, and also the leadership and also the members of the California State Assembly, how proud we are of each and every one of you doing some amazing things and representing the best of California. So thank you so very much, and God bless you.
And thank you again so much. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to talk amongst yourselves, and we will be right with you, okay? Thank you. Don't go, though. We'll be right back. Just a few minutes. We're just waiting for one judge to return, if you want to know. Okay. All right, so let's see. We have our finalists, and it turns out there are 5 finalists who will be going on to round 3. And so in alphabetical order by county, these are the 5 finalists. And again, you are all indeed all winners, but these are the 5 finalists who will go on, and I'll call you up one by one, okay, in this order. So, the 5 finalists are Gabrielle Garlick from El Dorado County. Sure, if you'd like to applaud each one. Dino Moon Parks from Nevada County. Sayla Johnson from Los Angeles County. Not yet. Mirabelle Lee from Riverside County. And lastly, Riley O'Hara from Sonoma County. Okay, we're going to do photos at the end, if that's okay. Or do you need it? Okay, let's get you a photo real quickly. Yes. Let's go ahead. Yeah, get a couple here. Riley, why don't you hop over here on the end?
Do me a favor, make some noise!
All right, Gabrielle Garlick from El Dorado County.
A Fit of Rhyme Against Rhyme by Ben Jonson. Rhyme, the rack of finest wits that expresseth but by fit's true conceit. spoiling senses of their treasure, cozening judgment with a measure but false weight, wresting words from their true calling, propping verse for fear of falling to the ground, jointing syllables, drowning letters, fastening vowels as with fetters they were bound. Line.
Soon as lazy thou wert known.
Soon as lazy thou wert known. All good poetry hence was flown, and art banished. For 1,000 years together, all Parnasius great green did wither. Line.
And wit vanished.
And wit vanished. Pegasus did fly away. At the wells no muse did stay, but bewailed, so to see the fountain dry. Line.
And Apollo's music die.
And Apollo's music die. All light failed. Starveling rhymes did fill the stage. For a poet in no age, a poet in any age, no poet in an age worth crowning. Not a work deserving bays, not a line deserving praise. Pallas frowning. Greek was free from rhyme's infection. Happy Greek by this protection was not spoiled. Whilst the Latin queen of tongue is not yet free from rhyme's wrong. Line.
But rests foiled.
But rests foiled. Line.
Scarce the hill again doth flourish.
Scarce the hill again doth flourish. Scarce the world a wit doth nourish. Line.
To restore Phoebus to his crown again.
To restore Phoebus to his crown again. Line.
And the muses to their brain as before.
And the muses to their brain as before. Line.
Vulgar languages that want.
Vulgar languages that want words and sweetness and be scant of line.
Of true measure.
Of true measure. Line.
Tyrant rhyme hath so abused.
Tyrant rhyme hath so abused. Line.
That they long since have refused other seizure.
That they long since have refused other seizure. May his joints tormented be, cramped forever. Line.
Still may syllabs jar with time.
Still may syllabs jar with time. Still may reason war with rhyme, resting never. Line.
May his sense when it would meet.
May his sense when it would meet the cold tumor in his feet grow unsounder. Line.
And his title be long.
And his title be long fool. For in rearing such a school was the founder.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a few words after each one. They have all made it look easy, but this is so difficult. And you did a great job. So could we have another round of applause for Gabrielle? Yeah. All right, good job, Gabrielle. Good job, Gabrielle. Okay, our next finalist. Let's please bring up Dino Moon Parks from Nevada County.
This is The Idler by Alice Moore Dunbar Nelson.
Hold for 1 second, please. Thank you so much. When you're ready.
An idle lingerer on the wayside's road, he gathers up his work and yawns away. A little longer, ere the tiresome load shall be reduced to ashes or to clay. No matter if the world has marched along and scorned his slowness as it quickly passed. No matter if, amid the busy throng, he greets him face, infantile at the last. His mission, well, there is but one, and if it is a mission, he knows it nay. To be a happy idler, to lounge and sun and dreaming pass his long-drawn days away. So dreams he on, his happy life to pass, content, without ambition's painful sighs. Until the sands run down into the glass, he smiles, content, unmoved, and dies. And yet, with all the pity that you feel for this poor mothling of that flame, the world, are you the better for your desperate deal when you, like him, into infinitude are hurled? Thank you.
Great job. Can we have another hand for Dino? Well done, Dino. All right, and our next finalist is Sayla Johnson from Los Angeles County. Welcome, Sayla.
Where Did the Handsome Beloved Go? By Jalal al-Din Rumi, translated by Brad Gooch. Where did the handsome beloved go? I wonder, where did that tall, shapely cypress tree go? He spread his light among us like a candle. Where did he go? So strange. Where did he go without me? All day long my heart trembles like a leaf. All alone at midnight, where did that beloved go? Go to the road and ask any passing traveler, that soul-stirring companion, where did he go? Go to the garden and ask the gardener, that tall, shapely rose stem, Where did he go? Go to the rooftop and ask the watchman, that unique sultan, where did he go? Like a madman, I search in the meadows, that deer in the meadows, where did he go? My tearful eyes overflow like a river. That pearl in the vast sea, where did he go? All night long I implore both moon and Venus, that lovely face, like a moon, where did he go? If he is mine, why is he with others? Since he's not here, to what there did he go? If his heart and soul are joined with God, and he left this realm of earth and water, where did he go? Tell me clearly, Shams of Tabriz, of whom it is said, the sun never dies. Where did he go? Thank you.
Great job. Another hand for Selah Johnson. Great job, Selah. All right, our fourth finalist, please welcome Mirabelle Lee from Riverside County.
Meeting at an Airport by Taha Muhammad Ali. You asked me once, on our way back from the mid-morning trip to the spring, what do you hate? And who do you love? And I answered, from behind the eyelashes of my surprise, my blood rushing like the shadow cast by a cloud of starlings. I hate departure. I love the spring and the path to the spring, and I worship the middle hours of morning. And you laughed, and the almond tree blossomed, and the thicket grew loud with nightingales. A question, now 4 decades old. I salute that question's answer, and an answer as old as your departure. I salute that answer's question. And today, it's preposterous. Here we are at a friendly airport by the slimmest of chances, and we meet. How, Lord, we meet, and here you are asking. Again, it's absolutely preposterous. I recognized you, but you didn't recognize me. Is it you? But you wouldn't believe it. And suddenly, you burst out and asked, if you're really you, what do you hate? And who do you love? And I answered, my blood fleeing the hall, rushing in me like the shadow cast by a cloud of starlings. I hate departure. And I love the spring and the path to the spring, and I worship the middle hours of morning. And you wept, and flowers bowed their heads, and doves, in the silk of their sorrow, stumbled.
That was wonderful. Can we have another hand for Mirabelle? Great job. Great job. All right, and let's bring up our last finalist. Please welcome Riley O'Hara from Sonoma County. Come on up, Riley.
Okay. 1969 by Alex Dimitrov. The summer, everyone left for the moon, even those yet to be born. And the dead, who can't vacation here, but met us all there by the veil between worlds. The #1 song in America was in the year 2525 because who has ever lived in the present when there's so much of the future to continue without us? How the best lover won't need to forgive you and surely take everything off your hands without having to ask, without knowing your name. No matter the number of times you married or didn't, your favorite midnight movie, the cigarettes you couldn't give up, wanting to kiss other people you shouldn't, and now to forever be kissed by the earth, in the earth, with the earth. When we all briefly left it to look back on each other from above, shocked by how bright even our pain is running wildly beside us like an underground river. And whatever language is good for, a sign, a message left up there that reads, "Here, men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 AD. We came in peace for all mankind, then returned to continue the war."
Can we have another huge round of applause for the 5 finalists? Excellent, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Wonderful. I'm holding this like an Oscar. Do you notice? I'm holding this like an Oscar. Let me set this down. My gosh. I thought my heart was full yesterday, but this has just been extraordinary. This is just going to take a couple of minutes. So as they are calculating, I'd like to just thank everyone again, family, friends, coordinators, teachers, parents, all of you for being here. Of course, everyone with the Arts Council, thank you. I'm very excited, and in a moment, I'm going to call up everyone, but also, could we have this was not easy for them, but also judges had a very difficult job choosing out of this. I don't know how they did it, but can we give the judges a round of thanks? Thank you. Tough, tough, tough. All right. I will say, as a poet myself, as a writer myself, I'm always thinking about words. So I hope after you make your way home that you'll continue to have poetry in your lives, whether it's heard or read or seen. I do think all the arts, music, film, poetry, painting, whatever they are, they fill our lives with more than what they were before. So as you go on with your busy lives, I hope you can keep some poetry with you. And also just some of the inspiration from these remarkable, remarkable 51 champions, each of you. So thank you. And I'm thinking we're getting closer. This is where my wife would say, Lee, don't go too far off the script. but it's also neat to see so many of the community. There's so many marvelous poets out there. So thank you all for coming to support. I'm thinking of the times that I have entered a contest, and I didn't even have the bravery to enter many, you know. One was the 3rd grade spelling bee, in which I got 3rd place. There's Kate from the governor's office. I didn't get to have you wave earlier. Hi, Kate. Sorry. Could I have all 5 finalists come up, please? And let's give them a hand. I'll get out of the way here. All right, an announcement. Please do not post announcements. If you are posting on social media, please don't do that until the California Arts Council posts the actual results. And they're going to be doing that this afternoon. Okay, so this evening you can post, please, if you can do that. Also, there will be a photo op afterwards if you'd like to come up and take photos. And I believe there's going to be trophies also. Okay, so let me go ahead and get to it. First, I'll do honorable mention, then runner-up, and then the winner. So, honorable mention from Los Angeles County, Sayla Johnson. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Runner-up from Riverside County, Mirabelle Lee. Okay, and the winner of the 2024 Poetry Out Loud competition, who will be going on to Washington, D.C. to represent California. Congratulations. From Sonoma County, Riley O'Hara. Congratulations. Yes. And can we give them all another big hand? Congratulations, everyone, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you. You want to say anything? Okay. Thank you very much. A few last words from Charlie. Where are we? Charlie O'Malley, and thank you again, everybody.
Thank you all so much for coming. For all of the champions, we have certificates for you. They're up here in the front, so please come and get your certificate before you head out today. Thank you all, and safe travels home.